join us, our meetup, our kickoff will join us. So okay, I will start. And today is our kickoff webinar for InterSystems Analytics contest. And I'm happy to present you Carmen Logue, our product manager for everything which is related analytics and InterSystems. Hi, Carmen. And also, hi. And also, I see Benjamin Debo here in the list. So Benjamin is our product manager as well. And so today we are going to describe you what solutions do we expect to see in InterSystems Analytics contest, and actually answer all your questions and describe all the like technical bonuses, all the features of InterSystems IRIS and you could use in your analytic solutions in this contest. And I pass the voice to Carmen. Carmen, please.
Take it away.
Yeah. Start again.
Yeah, and we can keep this, very informal too. So, so I thought I would just go through some of this. There are obviously a number of technologies here that have been available for a while, so I'm presuming that people are pretty comfortable with those. InterSystems IRIS BI, or our beloved Deep Sea, as you probably remember. InterSystems IRIS NLP, which has also been around for quite a while, as I know, and Integrated ML, which we've, had, I think we had a competition on that by itself too. So I think our idea here is to try and think about ways that we could potentially combine some of these things, but also just to show some real world examples of using these technologies. And then the fourth one there that I skipped over is InterSystems Reports, which is a little bit newer. That's something that we rolled out, about 9 months ago, I guess. And it is, and I actually have a slide that kind of talks about maybe some of the differences between InterSystems IRIS BI and what we have with reports. So I thought I'd spend a little more time on reports, just since that's something that there's probably less experience with. But happy to cover any of these areas. And like I said, feel free to interrupt me. We listed on the announcement the technology bonuses. So I think some of these are probably obvious use of any of those technologies that we talked about on the prior page. There's also a bonus if you have real world data that you can leverage. So building something that you could use in real life is a bonus. ZPM package deployment as well. And I know Evgeny's done a bunch of great recordings about how to do that if you need that. And then also using Docker. The one that wasn't on that initial list was InterSystems Reports, but I think we're going to add that as a technology bonus. Correct me if I'm wrong, Evgeny. So using that, like I said, go ahead. What's that? You are? Okay.
Yes, I just confirmed that, yes, we are going to add it.
Okay.
It's exciting.
Great. Thank you for that. And to support that, we have a temporary license that we can make available. So there's a few more things that we need to get underway. There's also a learning lab that's actually going live this afternoon for InterSystems Reports if you want to go take that, if you didn't have a chance to do that during the virtual summit. So let me pause there for a second. Any questions on the technology bonuses? No? Okay. So let me just take a minute here and talk about the sort of placing why we have this InterSystems Reports stuff available. As you know, we have business intelligence, which works great for embedded BI, and allows you to make interactive dashboards. And then we also have the ability to use things like Power BI And, the majority of tools that work through JDBC and ODBC as well. So that's something that has always been there. We added reports in the last year, essentially to allow people to do something, to provide more static reporting. So the focus there really is on the ability to distribute, print, PDF, export, kind of that static data. So it's distinct from business intelligence dashboards in the sense that it's really about distribution of information that you can schedule and do on a regular basis as well. So, and there's also just a shout out to the Open Exchange. There's also other things that are available there like Bridgeworks and some other tools. So, so that's just to kind of put this into context a little bit about what we're doing there. InterSystems Reports is also something that we're doing as a potential replacement ultimately for Zen Reports, which we have, we're not doing new development on Zen Reports right now. So this is something that particularly for new customers, if they have a reporting need, we'd want to direct them to InterSystems Reports. So that's why we're doing that. And just I'm not going to spend any time here, but there's a fair amount of data out there that talks about some of these benefits. It's really around being able to do kind of operational reporting, to create forms if you need to. Things like there's some samples in the tutorial that comes with it to look at I think a payroll kind of application or a billing application. So if those kinds of things are needed, where you have to have it in kind of a very specific format, it's quite good for that. So, and the other thing that I think is important is the ability to kind of do scheduling and distribution. They have something called report bursting, which allows you to push out, a lot of different reports at the same time with slightly different data. So if you're doing particularly like a billing application or something like that, we can set that up and have it shoot that out in email to a variety of customers too. So there's a couple of kind of interesting things to play with here. There are two parts to InterSystems Reports. One is called the Designer, and that's a development environment where you can think of it kind of as an IDE for reports. So you connect it to IRIS, you organize your data. The sample that we have is using the samples BI data set. So we've got some sample reports that I'll make sure we get posted so that you can start with a catalog to help you get started there. And then, once you have it and you've played with it, you can actually view it from within the Designer and then publish it to the server so that end users can get access to it. And the server is really where the majority of end users would be running, scheduling, and viewing reports. So it's a browser-based access to that. They can do some amount of filtering and modifying from the server as well. So we anticipate that we'll have some partners who distribute just the server, like they'll have a set of reports that actually get shipped with the product and just distribute server. There may be some who want to provide Designer as well, so that people can build from scratch themselves too. So either of those options are available with the platform. Both the Designer and the server are available from the WRC download site. And like I said, we're gonna for the competition, we'll be providing a license, a temporary license that's good through the end of January.
Carmen, there are a few questions related.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Yep.
The first question is: are InterSystems reports interactive, or they only like reports like PDF or something? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of, there is some interactivity to them actually, and I'll do a quick demo too so you can see that. So some things like you can click on a report and drill down like to additional data. You can do some filtering, sorting, those kinds of things. And the way that you would refresh it, for example, would be to hit refresh on the browser. So they're not meant to be real time in the same, they're not meant for real time. They are meant to be historical reports, but there is a little bit of interactivity with them.
So they are interactive with the data which is already within report. So there are
Right.
no external queries, right, from the report, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. And another question is if IRIS reports if they work in Docker. So how they?
In Docker. Yeah, that's a good question. So yes, there is, and this is something that with it by itself, you can obviously deploy it in Docker. With our 2020.4 preview release, we do have a Docker container for the server. The
Nice.
designer is a desktop application. So for designer, that'll be a download to the desktop. But for server, that is something that can be deployed via Docker. Because it's really like an IDE.
So in my question from myself and this developer application, is it for what operational systems does it support?
Yeah,
So
that
for Windows, for Mac?
Windows, Mac, Linux, all three. Yeah, and there'll be
nice.
those different versions are available from the WRC download site. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. No, good questions. Thank you. So I think I'm through the slide portion. Let me just check. Yeah, this just tells you different report types, which you'll see in there. And then the link to the Learning Lab, which will be available later today. So we can make that available too. All right. So I can do a quick demo if you want of reports, or I don't know, Evgeny, did you want to talk about some of the other technologies?
Yeah, I definitely want to make a demo of Iris BI then.
Okay.
But yes, please go ahead with the demo of InterSystems report. And another question we have. Will InterSystems provide a functional example of InterSystems reports working with Docker and interacting with other containers? We need a sample. So I mean, Carmen, so do we plan to provide an example with InterSystems reports?
Yeah, good question. So yes, so the way that reports are packaged together, there's something called a catalog. And so what you're looking at here is the label of it is Whole Foods 4 catalog. And then within that catalog, you'll find a set of reports. And this is actually the catalog that we used for the Learning Lab as well. So it presumes that you have IRIS with the samples BI data set loaded. And then once you do that and you're connected to the data set, then you can place this catalog in your directory. And I think just one caveat with this is that I've asked for somebody else to kind of just test because I've created this catalog. So I want to have somebody who hasn't loaded it actually use it with their system so we can make sure that things work. So I will make sure to get that done. But I have made this catalog available on GitHub, so we'll post that information as well so that people can get started with it. I just need somebody to run through and test it so that if there's any additional instructions needed, we can add them.
So
was that the question? Yeah,
the answer is, as I got it, so yes, we are going to share this example in some near future. And just for the record, everyone can install samples BI from Open Exchange as a ZPM package.
Right. Great. Thank you. Yeah. So right now I am in the designer application. So this is where you can create catalogs. And like I said, catalogs are a way that we group multiple reports together. So in this case, we have a simple transaction report, and you toggle between this design view where you can add fields, you can modify, and a view tab, which will actually show you what the report is going to look like. So this is actually going out and getting the real data. So you toggle between those two things. When you're in the view tab, you can't edit anything. So And you'll see in the learning lab that we do, we have a simple transactions field like you just saw. We have this one, which is a little more, it's summarized here. So this is one where when we go to the server, you'll be able to see that you can drill down into the data. So these are actually showing us in summary mode. There's a graph here that has, some interactive stuff on the right-hand side, which you can only see on server, and then a crosstab report, which just gives you a little more, breaks things down by region and product. So these are, and it's, designed really just to give you a sample of the kinds of things that you can show here. I've connected to the IRIS database, so I've brought in my data, and I'd recommend going through the learning lab just to get a sense for this. It doesn't take, it's an hour or less to get kind of an overview of what that looks like. And, so you do have to set up your query, tell it what data you want to bring in. And then from that point, then you're playing with the data inside of this this user interface. And so bringing data in. There's also actually one other quick tip here under View. So there are a lot of things here. It's easy to get lost in this user interface. So just to kind of go, we've got the data on the left-hand side. These components. This is where it allows you to bring in things like labels, text boxes, images. So if you want to paste in an image of a food with a hole in it, you can do that kind of thing here too. There's also the filter control is what I used in that graph. So this just gives you, and then if you want to, add some other visuals here, you can do that here from the Components tab. The Inspector tab over here on the right is where you get really field level granularity. So there's some, if I want to change things like foreground and background colors, you do that from in here. So this really is, it's a development tool for reports. So it's very, very granular in that sense. Once I have the report ready, or the catalog ready, I go back to publish it, and this is something we also go through in the learning lab. So I would publish that in that case to the server, and so you can see I can publish all of it, and then I can put it in a particular path in the server, and it will allow me to pull over different kinds of formats if I want to, so that the end user can make those changes. Okay, so now this was like a super fast overview of what takes, an hour or so in the learning lab, but just to give you a sense of what that looks like. And then I'll share the server as well. Should have that up. Okay. And got too many things open here. That's not it. Hold on a sec. Let me stop the share for a second, and let me pull that back up. There we go. Okay. All right. So let me know if you can see that now. All right. So can you see something that has Logic Report in the upper left, and then resources, my tasks, all that stuff? Okay. So this Whole Foods transactions, you can see I've got on the server when I'm logged in, I've got a few different things I can do, scheduling it, getting some administrative information. Most of the time I'm going to be running it. So this is what the reports look like there. I can actually pull up any of those 4 reports that I want to. So the kind of interactivity that we have with it, for example, I can look at, a set of things. I can do some of that kind of stuff. This is that control that I mentioned there, which allows you to filter. I can do things like on this summary report that I have here, if I want to drill into, I don't know, onion rings, let's say, I can drill down into that. I can do some sorting and filtering. Yeah, is there a question?
Yes, Carmen. Yuri asks if we can click on interactive view switcher. I think this is a switcher now. On the yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, it gives you a little bit more. So the only thing that I just as a warning, the filtering is actually doing filtering on the subcomponents of this. So for example, if I want to show, let's see, units sold, right, greater than, let's just say 5, right? It's going to do that, which would match all of these, but this is going to actually going to make that, it's going to filter based on the sublines. So for example here, right, if I look at bagels, I'll see the sublines that are greater than 5. So just to kind of keep that in mind. The other thing I can do is change styles from here. So these are the ones that I shipped over there. Oops, this is classic, which I'm already using. Let's do commercial, right? So a few other black, right? Some work better than others. Right, so you can play around with some of that formatting. Over here is where you have some of the additional filter control, some of the other, if I wanted to add a label, for example, those kinds of things you can do on the server side. So there is some flexibility here for, kind of end users. That's why I said, I think, most of the time what we'll be seeing is probably people will be using Designer in a more limited way and making this kind of stuff available to end users. So I don't want to hog all your time, Evgeny, but I thought it'd be useful just to give people kind of a sense of what InterSystems Report says, just because it's a bit of a newer application for us.
Yes, I think this is very helpful. I have a question. So if when we work with the designer, report designer, do we use what kind of queries can we use? I mean, is it only SQL or MDX is available too?
It is only SQL.
Okay. So it connects via JDBC driver, right?
Exactly. That's right. Yep. OpenJDK. Yep.
Yes, and also everyone can download Designer and Server from WRC download section, right?
That's right. Yep.
So people should be like clients to have this access, right? So I mean, it's not everyone.
That's right.
That's
right.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's totally okay. Just to understand the environment. Okay. So this is great, Carmen. I think this is perfect. So do we have any questions? More questions about InterSystems reports? We have a lot of thanks to you, Carmen. So a lot of thanks.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Yes. So this was great. Maybe people want another show from you sometime. So you're very welcome. And if you want, so actually, thank you. So we could proceed with our plan of the of the webinar. And now I'm gonna show and present the InterSystems IRIS BI template and how to build InterSystems BI solution from scratch. So if you don't mind, so okay, let me share my screen. And again, again, colleagues, so here we have Carmen, Logue, and Benjamin Debo, product managers of InterSystems. If you have any questions, not only like analytics related or anything, so please go ahead and ask, use this opportunity and ask our product managers about everything. Yes, so okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so do you see my screen now? Yeah, I think you do, right? Yeah, okay, thank you. So I'll go to Open Exchange and we'll click for templates, and we have IRIS Analytics template, which was shared in the announcement for the Analytics contest. And here I'll go and download. And actually, this is just open source GitHub repository, which is built as a template. So we have a large green button, use this template, and this is what I'm gonna do now. So when I click it, GitHub basically copies this repository to a new one.
I didn't catch that.
Sorry, this is my Siri. Okay, so I created a new repository, which is a copy of the template, but it's already it's mine repository, and I can do everything and develop starting from this point. So I'll proceed. I'll copy the GitHub line for this, and then with this I open Visual Studio Code and open a new window. And here I use a very handy clone repository button. And this code asks me where can I locate a new repository. And usually I do in a GitHub folder. So open, yes. And here I have, here we have the copy of this repository, and we can just run it with Docker Compose. So we'll do restart. And actually, while it's building, so what's inside this? What's inside this repository? Here we have some classes like COVID data and Cube, which is built upon this. A few dashboards we have here, and the global for, I think, for term lists, I believe. Well, I actually maybe, yeah. All for the data. So it's data with for COVID. And yeah, so the build is done, and we see an error when it says that port is already allocated, and this is fine because I have another window with IRIS Analytics. I'll just stop it. Yeah. So I could stop, and also I could change the port here in Docker Compose just to take another port on my machine to run this container. And so, okay, I stopped another one and I restart this container, and it's done, it works. So again, what do we have here when we start Docker build? It uses the latest image of InterSystems IRIS Community Edition 2020.4 with ZPM on board, and it copies a few files from repository to Docker and installer, source files, model XML, and IRIS script, initial script. And then it runs IRIS and gives an input as an input to IRIS, this IRIS script. And actually what's inside this IRIS script? pretty much a lot, but actually it looks a lot, but it's not that dangerous. So I mean, it's pretty simple if you look into that. So so what we do here, we load installer CLS class, and then run this installer CLS, and after that we everything, almost everything is commented. So, but this is very meaningful line, which actually runs a ZPM command of loading this module XML. And this is what we have, and this is where we have all the important activities behind this repository. So it's just it follows this module XML setup and loads DC IRIS BI package, which is here, and the global and DFI files into this particular container. And then it runs also initial DeepC utils build cube method to build the data. So basically, when we did this, so we should have a completely built solution inside this Docker container. So the only thing I need to click is to open dashboards and use it. And actually, so I can click this VS Code menu, which contains all the handy links we need to work with this container, with this repository. And for example, this we can check the architect analyzer and the dashboards portal. And actually, we can go straight to dashboards portal. This is a standard SystemSys login and password. And we see a dashboard here. And this dashboard shows some data. And actually, what is the data? The data is the file from Johns Hopkins Institute about COVID situation, which is being updated every day. So it shows the data related to confirmed cases by countries, which is developed inside this repository. So we can go through like architect and see this COVID cube. And also we can go to analyzer from here and see the deployed pivots, which are being used in this very simple dashboard. And also what else we have here is DeepC Web dashboards. So you can have a Angular front end for IRIS BI dashboards. Let's just position it better. Yes. So we see the same data, which is being shown in embedded dashboards with the Angular app layer, right? So actually we have some logic here even. So if we click on a country, we see provinces of this country, right? So if we click, it's India, like some India states. So there is some nice logic behind, but very simple. Just curious, do we have any questions related this repository? Because next time I'm going to build this particular example just from scratch, from having a CSV file. I don't see the chat. Do we have any questions?
I don't see anything in the chat. Yeah.
No questions so far. So it's clear, right? So okay, it's always great to start something which is developed, built, and clean, but maybe the most interesting how to build from scratch. Okay, let's do this. Let's build from scratch, and to do this, we will use this container, this instance, and I will open terminal. So we have the solution in IRIS namespace. Let's build, and also in this Docker container, we have another namespace, user namespace, which is clear, and we will use it now to build a new deep sea, new IRIS BI solution. So I'll go to user namespace. Let me check what DPM models do we have here? Nothing. We have nothing. And actually, what and the plan is to import CSV file, and then to build cube, pivot, and dashboard for this. That's it. This is the plan. So first, we need a tool to import CSV data. So we need to install CSV Gen here. And for this, I will do install CSV Gen. I just know its name, but if you don't know the name, you just check like with the find, and so it shows you what other packages are available here. Okay, so we installed CSV Gen, so we can check if we have it now. So we have it. Great. And I will use some cheat sheet commands to import data. And actually, I need the data, so I need a CSV file. And I just loaded today CSV file from Johns Hopkins. I'll put it here. And I'll create a new folder, data. Oh, sorry. A new folder, data here. And I'll place this CSV inside it. And if you can see, this is a CSV file with the first line like calls, and the next line comma separated countries and the numbers of confirmed, death, and recovery, and so on. Okay, so we have a file, so I can copy. Then I will use the cheat sheet to import the data. I go to this IRIS script, and we already have here this line. So I need to do the following: set file equal. Okay. The access to this folder is IRIS, is how we map this volume into container. And then we use data. So then we use handy menu from here, copy relative path. Okay. This is the file. Then we use CSV Gen generate. So we have this line here. Generate from file. And I will use it here. Okay, great. Now we imported this file into IRIS with the class with name DC IRIS BI COVID-19. And it tells us that imported 39,000 lines. So we have it already here. Let's check if we have it. So yes, we need to switch to another namespace. How can I do this? Yeah, user. Yes, we have class, and we also have data, which we can use examine from here. So let's and this is COVID-19. Yes, we can see that this is available and show table records. Yes, and we see the data. Do you see it? Yes, so it's small screen, but I hope you see. Don't see. Okay. The tool I use now is a VS Code SQL tool, which supports InterSystems IRIS. Okay, we have data inside with these two lines, and then I can next I need to build cube, and here I will use to close this. Oh, this is too small. Yes, I need. Okay. Forgot how to close this. We are close. Oh, yeah, nice. Now we need to generate a cube, and we can do. Actually, we can build cube manually from the class, and but we can also use a deep as an IRIS BI wizard to generate a cube, and this is what I'm gonna do now. So I will use this line which creates a cube definition from the class, a cube with the name COVID cube with this class name. Great. I copy this. Yes, it's created. And then I go to management portal and check if whether we have this new class here. We don't want to see mapped. Yes, this cube. Perfect. So let's compile it just to be sure. And also we can next open. Finally, we need to open architect, IRIS BI architect, to understand what we are having. So let's switch to. We cannot switch to another namespace because it doesn't support. IRIS BI is not enabled there. So let's do that. Analytics. So we did this. So enabled. Now we can open architect, and here we are. We have this cube, which was generated with one line again. This is nice. So, and actually, let's examine what do we have here. Basically, what this util analyzes all the fields of the data, and if it is numeric, so it creates a measure. And if it thinks it is categorical, it creates or contains some string or either data. It creates dimensions. So and what sometimes it may be wrong, but this is automatical, and so robots are doing something for us. So this is great. And in general, it's pretty accurate. So we have confirmed deaths and recovered as measures. And we have countries, years with all the dimensions, and province as dimensions. So it's pretty nice. So we can use it even in this after generated state. We can use to create pivots and dashboards. So let's do that. So we go to Tools, Analyzer. So for some reason, close. For some reason, it doesn't show any data to me because I need to build a cube, I think. Yes. Okay, let's update it. yes, we have some data here, and so we could check like country and confirmed the measures. And for what's next, let's sort it by confirmed descending. And voila, we have a set of countries. And let's show, for example, top 10. Yeah. Perfect. We have top 10 countries. Let's save it. I have advisors everywhere. So great. Now, next step is we can create a dashboard to present this information to our users. And let's go again to the handy link dashboard. Yes, but we need another namespace. Management portal, then okay, analytics, switch to user and user portal. Okay, add the dashboard, call it, countries. Okay, that's fine. I have a new dashboard, add a new widget. What do we like? Maybe let's go with the pie chart because we just have 10 entries there. And here we are, we have a pie chart of top 10 countries with the most confirmed cases of COVID-19. This is a dashboard. This is also we can check how it looks in Deep Web. So we just switch the namespace here. Oops. I don't know why. Sometimes something doesn't work. Yes. So this application doesn't have access to this namespace, and actually what we need to do here is this is MDX to JSON, and we'll just add this resource and save it. And let me try again. Maybe it's already incognito issue.
See, this is when you say you're just demonstrating that this is a live system, right?
Yes, it's fine because I need to install Deep Web in this ZPM install Deep Web in this namespace. And I hope, yeah. Anyway, so what I wanted to show you that, okay, we just built from scratch. Maybe the next question will be, okay, so let's check if it works. Yeah, it works. Hopefully. Yes, great. So it works. And the next step, okay, fine, we built something. Let's make a solution. I mean, like a deployment. Yes, we generated class. We generated a cube. So I think we need to export this, right? And this is our namespace. We need to export this data. This is very wise warning. Yeah, so do we really want to export from another namespace, which we other than we connect this code from to. So yes, we want to do this, and then export again. We don't see any changes here because basically we just have the same classes inside the repository. But this is what you want to do for the first time when you generated something. But the dashboards are different. So how to export dashboards? So for this thing, we have a very handy ICDF module, ZPM ICDF. I install, sorry. Yes, and then we need to make quick setup for this ICDF, just to set up a workdir. ICDF. We tell that, oh, sorry. We tell that the workdir is this source folder, and then I do the cheat sheet command from here, like export only div files. I copy it, boom, and yes, here we have div files. It's like countries, countries pivot, and some embedded things, so I will just do that. And great. So we have the changes to initial repository, and then we can make a commit. Commit push to push our data into GitHub repository. And next thing you should, if you care, if your deployment could be done from ZPM, your next step is to adjust ZPM package accordingly, like including all the classes, globals and div files resources you want to include, and then maybe make some initial setup calls. Maybe here, I'm gonna pause for the questions, and actually maybe for everything, because I think we described the basics of creation of IRIS BI solution from a CSV file. So I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. Okay, I hope this wasn't very dull. So we still have people here. And do we have any questions so far?
I don't see anything in the chat, Evgeny, but just to
I
thank
see.
you.
So
Yeah.
yes, I see that it was nice. Thank you, Alexei. Спасибо. I hope you understand Russian. And any more questions? So what we didn't, I think we went through a lot today, right? So and thank you, Carmen, very much. Yes, and actually developers, if you have questions, any questions related IRIS analytics and different types of deployment, usage, everything which we didn't describe today, please don't hesitate to ask any questions in the Discord or on developer community.
Yeah. And I think just to say too, we're going to have a few other things available that we'll add to this too around reports. And I see Anton's on. We have some other possible things there too that we're working on. So yeah, we'll keep making things available.
Yeah, and also Anton yesterday he published a remarkable article on how you can utilize resources, CSV resources from AWS, from S3. In a few lines, you can get the data from AWS in IRIS and use it whatever you want. Not only for analytics, but for analytics, it could be very useful, handful. Thank you, Anton. Thank you. And also, another bonus we didn't talk about very much today is integrated ML, which is a great feature we introduced this year in InterSystems IRIS, which gives you ML capabilities for any analytics solutions. Please, you're so welcome to use it, and you can collect an extra bonus for us. Yes, thank you. And actually, Anton just shared the link which I used today, which is also available on AWS. Yeah, actually, Anton, it's not only on AWS. Also, Johns Hopkins, they have a GitHub repository where they constantly every day update this data as well. So I mean, you can use both sources. So I think we good. Yeah, we have no questions, and we talked a lot today. I hope it was useful, and good luck with your solutions with Iris Analytics. And thanks to Carmen and thanks for everyone who joined us today in a kickoff webinar for InterSystems IRIS Analytics contest. Thank you. Have a great day.